We're surrounded by headlines and statistics when it comes to addiction, but today we're going to go deeper than that. We're going past the numbers and into the real human stories. We're going to explore the actual journey of recovery, the before, the during, and the after, to really get what the path to healing is all about.
So, that's the big question, right? What does this path actually look like? And I don't just mean for the person struggling with it. What about for their family and for the clinicians working with them every day? Because I can tell you, it's a journey that is often way different from what we see in the movies.
Every story has a beginning, and for so many people, the path to treatment starts in a place that's really complex and honestly, profoundly lonely. So let's start right there. Let's talk about the before.
One of the most powerful truths to understand about this journey is that it almost always begins in silence. Long before anyone else has a clue, there's this whole internal world of feeling trapped, completely misunderstood. It's not usually some big dramatic event, but more like a slow, quiet drift into isolation, a place where hope can feel very, very far away.
And that feeling of isolation, it's often fueled by a huge misunderstanding. There's this incredibly damaging myth out there that addiction is just a choice or some kind of moral failing. But the clinical evidence tells a totally different story. It's clear, addiction is a complex medical condition that actually changes how the brain functions. And that right there, that is exactly why professional treatment is so essential. And then there's that other really harmful myth, the idea of rock bottom. This belief that things have to completely fall apart before help can even work. That's just not true. In fact, all the evidence shows the complete opposite. The earlier someone gets help at any stage, the better their chances are for a real, lasting recovery. Okay, so what happens when someone does take that step and ask for help? Let's move on to the during. We're going to go behind the scenes a little bit to see what the treatment process actually involves. So, that first phase is often detox, and it's not just about waiting it out. Not at all. It's a structured medical process. It kicks off with a full evaluation to get a complete picture of someone's health. Then comes stabilization, where withdrawal is managed safely by medical staff around the clock. And crucially, it always ends with a plan for what comes next, to set that foundation for long-term success. A clinician I read about summed it up perfectly. They said, "Beyond all the medical procedures, our first job is to restore dignity and provide safety." Why? Because recovery is built on that trust. That philosophy pretty much guides everything they do. It's a powerful reminder that this is a deeply human process, focused on care, not just cure.
And recovery is rarely a solo journey. The family's role is absolutely vital. This means really participating, not just offering support, but educating themselves, setting healthy boundaries, which can feel counterintuitive sometimes, and of course, celebrating the small victories along the way. It's really about healing the entire family system, not just one person.
Now, once that initial phase of treatment is over, you might think the journey is done. But really, that's when it truly begins. This brings us to the after, which isn't an endpoint at all. It's a completely new way of living. Recovery really evolves over time. The first 30 days are all about building new, healthy habits. Then as the months go on, the focus shifts to strengthening those support systems. And eventually, it becomes about managing long-term wellness, just like you would with any other chronic health condition. It's a marathon, not a sprint, for sure. So ultimately, here's the key point. Recovery isn't about going back to an old life just without the substance. It's about building an entirely new one. It's a fundamental shift in daily life, supported by new tools and, most importantly, a strong community. And that's really what ties all of these stories together. While no two paths are ever identical, they all share that same common starting point, a single step. One decision to reach out, to seek understanding, and to accept support from others. That first step is the most powerful one of all. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Now that we've looked at this journey with a bit more clarity and compassion, what could this new understanding mean for someone you know? How might it change the way we offer support, the way we listen, and just show up for the people in our own lives? The sources we used to put this explainer together also provided a resource for anyone seeking more information or support. That contact information is right there on your screen now. Thanks for joining us.